all through my city, all through my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights, when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, 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 come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. Yeah. So keep dancing.
Honored guests, please congratulate these fine young ladies and gentlemen with another round of applause. Good evening and welcome. Tonight we continue an important tradition for our 8th grade students with our 8th grade ceremony entitled Limum Novum, or New Threshold, the purpose of which is to honor our 8th grade class of 2021. Through our ceremony this evening, we will look back at our time together on the middle school campus and then anticipate the future. First, however, it is important that we thank the following individuals. We begin by thanking Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin for the vision and the example they continue to provide us in our daily lives. We next thank our leader, Mr. Goldberg, for all his support this school year. Mr. Goldberg, thank you. Thank you. A special thank you to our faculty, whose mentoring and passion makes a difference in the worlds of our students. Thank you to all those who make tonight a possibility, particularly our volunteer parents. Thank you, students, for a wonderful 3 years together. Thank you. And to our parents here tonight, thank you for entrusting the most precious thing in life with us, your children. Give your parents a round of applause. One final announcement, a reminder that this event, along with pictures from tonight's ceremony, can be viewed on our middle school Instagram and Twitter pages, so please sit back and enjoy the events tonight. Now, to begin our ceremony, I introduce a young man who will be giving the invocation this evening, written by Dr. Lawrence James. He is doing this because in his daily life at the Benjamin School, he has, in the opinion of his teachers who have nominated him, exemplified the 10 core values enshrined in this invocation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Will Mann.
This is an invocation, which means I'm going to ask for something. But at the same time, it is a thank you. When I think about the grass, trees, buildings, and walkways of the original Benjamin School, I think about how I've grown from a younger, more childlike me to now. No longer really a child, nor yet even a nearly adult, more sort of halfling. In a very short time, I will leave that campus to go on to this one, where I will grow much more and become a young adult, ready to move on yet again to a college, where I shall know everything. However, this is probably the biggest going on, the biggest chasm to cross, because I'm really going to leave childhood and childish things behind. It is for all those years up to now that I want to say thank you. Firstly, to my parents and family, and then to my teachers and to my school, the Benjamin School. Now comes the asking, the invocation. Spirit of Benjamin, I ask that you help me carry forward and mature my understanding and practice of your 10 words that I have walked by and over all my time in this place. Courage, integrity, respect, morality, kindness, fairness, compassion, acceptance, forgiveness, responsibility. I know what the words mean, and I can spell them. Now help me live them. Help me be the words. Words that in action and practice define the person. Words that are the moral compass within. Give me the courage to take the responsibility for my dealings and my actions that are the obverse of the freedoms I so want. Give me the integrity to show the same face in public that I do in private, and for my word to be my bond. Help me be fair in my dealings with everyone, even when I could take the advantage and get away with it within the word of the law and the rules of the game, because I know when things are not fair. Help me give respect to all, even to one who calls himself my enemy. Let me respect even that to which I am opposed. Give me acceptance of what has to be when all struggle is of no avail. Teach me how to forgive from the heart. Give me compassion for all who suffer and deny me arrogance. I ask that my feet always walk the paths of morality and rightfulness, and that I know them from the paths of darkness. Spirit, help me always show kindness and be a true friend in friendship, which means sometimes to say no when silence or yes is easier. Give me the time and the opportunities to make little mistakes and to learn, so I shall not make big mistakes later. Finally, Spirit, help me love myself as I am, so I may learn to love others. Thank you.
Please stand for the Benjamin School alma mater, performed by the middle school chorus.
When the sun breaks free of the sea, and dawn comes again, my alma mater can sing, beloved Benjamin, like a ray of shining light, welcomes me back home. Keep us in sight throughout. so deep the palms, glorious and green, ever she's victorious, our alma mater queen, through laughter and tears, will stay ever true, where buccaneers through all the years, we love you, orange and blue. We love you, orange and blue.
Thank you, chorus. Excellent job. Now remarks from our 8th grade class of 2021. First, I'd like to introduce an inspiring young lady who has led our student council this school year, Miss Riley Krisafi.
Good evening. Thank you all so much for coming to this special event. I am Riley Krisafi, this year's middle school student council president, and I'm so grateful to be able to share with you all tonight a little bit about this year in the lives of the 8th grade. As a part of student council, I want to talk a little bit about leadership. Under the truly amazing guidance of Mrs. Loretta Corey, student council has again succeeded in accomplishing and learning so much this year. From organizing school events, planning teacher appreciation, running career day, making holiday treats for underprivileged students, collecting money for the UNICEF organization, collecting books and clothes for students of all ages, and touring UCF as an outstanding part of our college and career curriculum. That's a mouthful right there. The group of students on student council has really been prepared for and demonstrated the best kind of leadership that there is: service. The greatest historical, religious, and contemporary leaders have made such a difference through service. Beyond student council, my peers and friends in this class have really gone above and beyond, whether they know it or not, in serving and leading this year. Some of the best role models for serving and leading in our lives are sitting right in front of us. Because we forget too often to recognize our mentors at events like this, the 8th grade would like to present a token of our gratitude to our teachers. Thank you all so much for constantly looking out for us and supporting us in every way imaginable. That's better, and you all look lovely. Leaders are called to make a difference and change things for the better. They will undoubtedly face hardships and complications, but nonetheless fight through them in order to make that change. We all have the potential to leave something a little better than the way we found it. We have choices. Every word spoken and every idea acted upon has the power and potential to truly make a difference. And here's where we make our choice. Will our words speak life into someone or take it out of them? The actions we take and the things we say right now will create a ripple effect that could last days, months, or years, and manifest in rewards or havoc down the road. I've learned this year that making lasting changes can be hard and sometimes a very slow process. Don't give up on supporting one another and doing those good deeds, though. As leaders, we are here to make positive changes for those around us. We're leaders right now, and we can continue to be as we move forward. Freshmen doesn't define whether or not we can be of service or an inspiration to others. So high school, get ready. Here comes the class of 2021.
I've known this next young lady for a long time, and she's never failed to impress me. Crystal Paldo Divine.
Middle school is full of new and impactful experiences, new friendships, and a lot of homework. I started my middle school years at Benjamin in 6th grade, and have been here all 3 years. Switching from public school to middle school was a big leap. It felt like the Colossus of Rhodes trying to do a split across 2 worlds, and I'm not flexible. Even though it was a stretch, I adjusted quickly and made friends fast. My very first friend at Benjamin was Nicholas Murphy. I knew him previously from church, but when I saw his huge smile coming towards me, I knew I fit right in. Looking back now, 6th grade wasn't that challenging. I was horrified to go to English class every day, knowing it was my weakest subject, and what didn't help was Miss Ponchak. She was a scary English teacher who didn't tolerate fun and gave green slips. She was strict, to the point, and intimidating. By the end of 6th grade, she was my favorite teacher, because we got to know each other through soccer and in the classroom. My favorite subjects are math and science. So going into my 8th grade year, I was praying to have Miss Hanson. I got her. I definitely struggled the most in math, but that's what I love about math. With math, I feel so challenged that I can't do it, that it makes me want to do it more. Miss Hanson is the teacher you can go to, and she explains the problem more clearly. Her door is always open, literally and metaphorically. I use that to my advantage. You can ask her. I talked a lot and asked a bunch of questions. And the DC trip was so much fun. I just turned 14, and we had to pick our roommates. If you ask anyone who knows me, I hate choosing friends over friends. I'd rather be smushed in a room with all of my friends than have to choose only 3 to room with. So I put 5 names down on my list, and I got 3 out of the 5. My roommates ended up being my best friends. I was so excited, until I was put on the bus at 5 in the morning without my coffee. I was not very happy when that happened. I was put in Mr. Molnex's group. We were, in Mr. Molnex's words, a squad. This by far was the highlight of my DC trip. Mr. Molnex was the jokester in the group chat and always starting to give us strikes if we misbehaved. I love you, Mr. Molnex. I did have my up and down moments in middle school. There were times where I stressed myself out, and then there were times where everything was going great. Middle school will be hard to forget, but in the end, it was worth it. Middle school is, I think, when one grows the most. We learn that time management is very important, that trust comes and goes, and that things always happen for a reason. Thank you.
Crystal, that was wonderful. Denai McConey is a new student this year, and she has taken the middle school by storm. Give her a round of applause.
To be or not to be, to cry or not to cry, to speak or not to speak, to play or to study, to be an ally or a bystander, just a few of the questions that accompany us during our teenage years. Through the bewildering mazes of creating relationships, of building self-confidence, of learning how to be capable students, and most importantly, how to be good students, we teenagers find ourselves asking the questions, who am I? Who should I be? What will I be? And how do I be? This is the end of my first year at the Benjamin School. And before beginning the school year, I debated with myself how I should act in school. Is there a particular way to be so that I fit in? What would I have to change about me to be popular? Should I be a mean girl or a sassy girl? And on and on. I could play any of these given roles, but that's not who I am. My upbringing has instilled in me the importance of being connected to others and staying true to self. And at the Benjamin School, I found a place where I could be myself. Establishing new friendships and coming to a new school has had its own complications, to say the least. But I've learned to speak my mind and to use the strong backbone of self-confidence my parents have instilled in me. They have given me the proper guidance to be a leader in everything that I do, and to be myself and be able to laugh at others, not taking life too seriously, and to be happy. Many ask, how can you be so happy? I believe it was because I was raised to be me. My family is one of the friendliest families I have ever met. Have you met my mom? My mom has the biggest smile I've ever seen on a human being. My sister, mother, and I are said to have infectiously happy personalities, and I am so happy this character trait has been passed down to me. To be myself is not to hide behind fake identities, or try to be someone I am not. It is better to win friends than accumulate enemies. To be a nice person means to be a friend to all, despite their body type, race, religion, weirdness, or appearances. The character traits engraved into Benjamin has helped me feel as though it was a home away from home. To be a good student comes with a lot of dedication to school. This to me is the training ground for intellectual excellence, the importance of a good work ethic, expansion, and growth. And as a human being, Benjamin has shown to be a very work-intensive school, but the teachers who are always there to help you have helped me want to come to school with a positive attitude. To my friends who are staying at Benjamin, my parents who have supported me through everything, faculty who have guided me through my toughest middle school year, and guests who have came to this special ceremony, remember to be yourself. Remember to never let grades or whatever trials and tribulations life throws at you to get in your way. To my fellow students, enjoy each moment of life that you have, because not only does it get harder, but it does not last forever. You and I have been well prepared to face the new challenges of upper school classes and for a lifetime of scholarships. We have been taught to never give up, and if we fall or stumble, we know to get up and learn from the experience so as to be the best. Thank you.
We had a presidential election this year. This young man was in my office almost every day, in my classroom almost every day, talking politics, and I have to tell you, I've enjoyed the school year with him. I'm extremely proud of you, Preston, and so honored to introduce you right now, Preston Flieger. Find your space there.
Ever since I was 4 years old and I started at the Benjamin School in pre-K, I have been asked this question and gotten the same reaction from my answer every time. This question was, what school do you go to? And of course, I would always say, the Benjamin School. And every time I uttered those words, I saw an expression of awe on their faces. And every time I saw that, I would never forget it. This always made me feel so lucky to be at an amazing school like this. I'm not gonna lie, academically, my first few years at the middle school were not great. I struggled in a lot of my classes, But every time I went through a struggle, I had someone to support me and help me get right back up from my mistakes. Whether it was Mr. Hagee, my parents, my Aunt Jan, or any other teacher. Benjamin always provided me with the opportunity to achieve my goals. My fellow 8th graders, this school has let us achieve so much and has created an environment where all of our dreams will forever be possible. And for that, we owe a thank you to all of our teachers and the Benjamin School. I remember in 5th grade when we had meetings preparing for the middle school, preparing to roam free on campus, and preparing for a whole new life. Well, this time has come again, but now it is high school. As we enter the new school year, we look back on the people who got us here. For me, it was truly my parents and my grandmother, or as I call her, Nimmy. My grandmother helped me more than anyone can imagine with my schoolwork. She studied with me for my exams and made sure I got all my work done. But best of all, she was a friend to me all through it. Now, I know many people aren't as lucky as me having my grandmother live and work with me, but I do realize that I would not be where I am today without her. So thank you, Nimmy. Another big part of my middle school career was my athletics, and I would like to say my 8th grade year was the most fun athletics-wise. The baseball season was a little shaky, but we ended up beating Kings, and that's all that really matters to me. Thank you, Coach Harbeck. Thank you, coaches, and thank you to the rest of the team. I'd like to say thank you to my family as well. My mother and my father have given so much and worked so hard just so I can have an amazing education at this school. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And to my fellow 8th graders who are moving up to the upper school or going to any other school, always remember that every moment wasted looking back keeps us from moving forward. Thank you.
It is time in our ceremony that we recognize this exceptional group of young men and women in this, our 56th year of excellence at the Benjamin School. Please hold your applause until all students have crossed the stage. Jay Ashmo.
I want to thank my family for always supporting me in anything that I do and always pushing me to give 100%.
Bars Arslan.
Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end.
Veronica Baker.
Crushed it.
Abigail Bastion.
The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday.
Eric Bernhardt.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. As my great-grandfather said, always remember, the smartest person in the room is the person who has not spoken yet.
Lucas Burnett.
If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you have to do, you have to keep moving forward.
Madeline Caruso.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
Carol Chen.
It matters not what someone is born, but what he or she turns out to be.
Olivia Cornett.
You don't have to try and be anything more than who you are. Trust that you are enough if you are in your truth.
Lucas Kotranakis.
I am the one thing in life I can't control. I am inimitable. I am an original.
Briley Chrysofi.
Work as hard as you can to achieve your best with joy and confidence. No matter how hard things may seem right now, just know that the future is filled with amazing opportunities.
Julian DiFilippo.
Don't worry, be happy.
Rory Doran.
Be a good person, but don't try and prove it.
Michael Edwards.
Leadership is something you earn, something you're chosen for. You can't come in yelling, "I'm your leader." It happens because the other guys respect you.
Samantha Endy.
You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose.
Grace Fletcher.
Sometimes you'll never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory.
Sydney Fox.
30 years from now, it won't matter what shoes you wore, how your hair looked, or what clothes you wore. What will matter is what you learned and how you used it.
Molly Freed.
Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
Garrison Gelman.
I'm not just special, I'm limited edition.
Nicholas Graziato.
Time flies when you're having fun, and at Benjamin, 10 years passes by in a minute.
Lexi Green.
In anything that I have ever done in my life and wish to do in my future, I will give my 100%. To quote Lin-Manuel Miranda, I am not throwing away my shot.
Bradley Groffman.
Accomplish your dreams by setting goals. Overcome your struggles with hard work. Through hard work, your goals are completed and the cycle is repeated.
Stephen Gu.
Don't always worry what your next line is going to be.
Chloe Habib.
Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it never gets you anywhere.
Hudson Hale.
The best lesson I have learned at this school is if it does not challenge you, it will not change you. Therefore, always challenge yourself.
Madeline Hart.
The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before.
Sydney Hasselcorn.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Brooke Hayes.
Laughter is timeless. Imagination has no age, and dreams are forever.
Liliana Hernandez.
Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind.
Ava Hoffman.
Be somebody nobody thought you could be.
Robin Howley.
If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space.
Cole Jernstedt.
What we think, we become.
Alexandra Kahn.
We keep moving forward, opening new doors, and doing new things because we are curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths.
Ebba Kilberg.
Good grades do not determine a good student. Determination does.
Julia Kirschenbaum.
Spend a little more time trying to make something of yourself and a little less time trying to impress people.
Bianca Lonnie.
Life is worth living, so live another day. I think about this Justin Bieber song every day, and I remember to live life to its fullest.
Christopher Lappert.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I could not have done this without you.
Caitlin Lauer.
The future depends on what we do in the present.
Julia Labarsky.
It always seems impossible until it's done.
Nicholas Lutz.
Part of growing up is taking what you learn from that and moving on and not taking it to heart.
William Mann.
Time is very precious to me. I don't know how much I have left, and I have something that I would like to say. Hopefully, at the end, I will have said something that will be important to other people, too.
Denai McConey.
Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world.
Alexa McCullough.
You must go on adventures to find out where you truly belong.
Isabella McNamara.
Make sure you live in the moment because life is a journey, not a destination.
Jacob Mendelson.
To succeed in life, you need 3 things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone.
Alexander Michelon.
Success is the ability to go from one failure to another with no loss of enthusiasm.
Haley Miller.
I never look back, darling. It distracts from the now.
Justin Mulbire.
Looking back upon my life, I have realized now that every time I was rejected from something, I was in fact being redirected to something better.
Nicholas Murphy.
To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice your gift.
Grace Myers.
What we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us.
Sebastian Nachilli.
Of all the hazards in life, fear is the worst.
Aiden Nightoff.
Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed.
Ugnius Numas.
Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
Cade Odom.
I would like to thank my teachers, especially my baseball coaches, Coaches Hila and Maxwell, for helping me learn about life.
When life throws you curveballs, be patient. The perfect pitch will come soon.
Maxence Paxima.
It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default.
Lauren Papa.
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment.
Parth Patel.
I would like to thank my parents for always being there when I need them. I learned a lot during my time at their middle school, and I would like to keep learning new things as I progress.
Crystal Paldo Divine.
If it doesn't open, it's not your door.
Hannah Perez.
What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Excuses will always be there for you. Opportunity won't. Remembering this has inspired me to never take my opportunities for granted.
Colton Flieger.
I want to thank my mom and dad for all the opportunities they've given me for my education, and my grandma for always keeping me organized.
Preston Flieger.
It is not how we make mistakes, but how we correct them that defines us.
Nadia Ponce.
If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place.
Angelina Quinn.
The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams.
Gabriella Ramsey.
The past is your lesson, the present is your gift, the future is your motivation.
Thomas Rose.
Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence.
Kayla Schneider.
Starting today, I need to forget what's gone, appreciate what still remains, and look forward to what's coming next.
Andrew Schwartz.
Before you run, you have to learn how to walk.
Chase Shapiro.
Tonight is bittersweet. To my teachers, thank you for your support and guidance. To my coaches, thank you for teaching me life lessons on and off the field.
Emma Shirzad.
If you work harder than you think you did yesterday, you will never fall short of success.
Carter Stewart.
As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them.
John Sweeney.
Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect.
Michael Valensis.
Your life is a reflection of your thoughts. If you change your thinking, you change your life.
Gray Waxman.
Every new day is another chance to change your life.
Catherine Waxman.
It has long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sit back and let things happen to them. They go out and happen to things.
Andrew Weiss.
hard in silence. Let success make the noise.
Jordan Wheaton.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of dreams.
Nikayla Williams.
Thanks to God and many of the people in my life who have taught me to have faith and to empathize with others. I now know if you have faith, you can make it through anything.
Casey Zecca.
Take pride in how far you have come and have faith in how far you can go.
Skylar Zur.
Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail.
A round of applause, please. I'm not sure who it is out here, but I like your style. So now we start the portion of our ceremony where we introduce our upper school to our students. Our first speaker is a young man who went through our middle school. He's graduating this year. In fact, you graduate Friday, right? He'll be attending Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. Jack Mann.
First off, congratulations to all of you for making it to this day. 4 years ago, I was sitting in the same seat as you. I know how tough it is to get there. I came to Benjamin when I was in 7th grade after moving from Connecticut. I don't know if you guys agree, but I'm pretty sure 7th grade might be the worst year of your lives. So moving here in 7th grade, that made it a lot harder than I'm sure most of you guys had it. Middle school is not easy, and to be totally honest with you, looking back now, my classmates and I were super weird and awkward, which didn't make things any easier. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I at least know that Rory Dorn's one of the weirdest kids I've ever met in my life, so. The past 3 years are probably going to be the toughest in your life. It only goes up from here. I'm going to ask you guys a question you have to answer honestly. Raise your hand if you're scared for high school. Those of you that aren't raising your hand, I know you're lying because every kid I've ever asked, including me, was scared for high school. And those of you that are scared, which is all of you, you have every right to be scared. I was scared to death going to high school, and now I'm scared to go to college. That's just how it works. I was scared to be the youngest one on a new campus. I thought I was going to struggle to find friends and struggle with the strenuous course load and hours of homework on top of trying to play lacrosse almost year-round. But let me tell you, the second I walked on campus, everything became easier. The teachers and other faculty are not just that, but they are there to be a guide, a mentor, a tutor, but above all else, a friend. I've built relationships with teachers at the upper school that I know will last a lifetime. They are there for you, so take advantage of everything they have to offer. If you need help, go in after class and ask a question, whether it be about a question about your schoolwork or just life. But most importantly, take a chance and go outside your comfort zone. Give yourself a chance to find a passion. Join a club, take a new class, play a new sport, or join the arts. High school gives you the opportunity to have true freedom, to find yourself and to create your own path. But it also teaches true time management. Yes, there is work. No, it is not impossible like most people say it is. It might be impossible if you do what I see Will do back there, and he starts his homework at about 9 o'clock after watching videos on his computer for about 6 hours. I don't know how he does it, but it works for him, so find what works for you. Find the balance in everything that you do. I was a member of the Honor Council, National Honor Society, lacrosse team, and I took about 10 APs and many other honors courses in the course of my 4 years in high school. I made it work. You all can too. You are all going to love high school. You'll make memories that will last a lifetime. Make the most of it. It'll be worth it in the end. Thank you for letting me speak, and I wish all of you the best of luck in your high school career, whether it's here or any other school and beyond.
We continue our introduction to the upper school with a good friend of the middle school and a good friend of mine, Mr. Ken Didsbury, our assistant head for academics. Ken?
It is an honor to speak to you tonight. Excuse me. Every August, I teach my favorite class. I call it Rookie Week. And my students are all of the new teachers who just come to Benjamin. Some are relatively experienced, and others are truly veteran teachers of more than 10 years experience. But as far as we're concerned, they're rookies, because we want them to understand how we believe students learn best. One of the things I tell these teachers is that they need to convey 3 messages on a daily basis. You've heard them in a variety of forms, but they're as follows. The work's important, you can do it, and we will help. Well, you may ask, how are these ideas important to you as you start your high school education? When you go off to college, adults are not going to supervise your every move. You'll be glad of that, but it's scary. Colleges want to believe that you have a certain amount of good judgment and responsibility. Because we can't follow you to college, we have to hope that you've internalized the concepts, skills, and values we've taught you. I like to say that if we've done our job, we have a symphony of voices in your head, the voices of your teachers who reminded you to do such things as check your work on the math test before you turn it in, read your essay out loud before you hand it in. Ask yourself if the information you're about to share is truthful, kind, and necessary. And finally, to remember that integrity means doing the right thing when nobody's watching. So going back to my 3 messages to rookie teachers, I hope that over the next 4 years, you will take these messages to heart, that they'll become a part of who you are. You will have truly understood the message, the work is important, when you've found something that interests you on a passionate level. You're going to have a large number of choices about courses and assignments. You'll do projects in a great variety, and you'll have to pay attention to what sparks your curiosity. When you leave a class and you continue thinking about what has been said, you're finding that passion. If you take the time, when you have nothing else to do, and listen to that inner voice in your head, that curious self may appear all of its own. Pay attention to that voice and nurture it. High school is a challenge because we expect you to be good at lots of things. But if you take academic risks and seize the opportunities that present themselves, you'll very likely find that single passion that will guide you. The work's important. Look for the passion wherever life takes you. Well, we will urge you on by saying you can do it. Before you leave Benjamin, you need to transform that statement into I can do it. This year, your faculty has been studying a book called Grit by Angela Duckworth. The substance of the book is that students are likely to be successful not because they have abilities, but because they're persistent and expend great effort. We can't change the underlying talents and abilities you're born with, nor can we avoid the challenges and tragedies in our lives. But we can control the choices we make and the level of effort we expend. How we address life's circumstances is what will define our lives. Vince Lombardi, a famous football coach of a half century ago, said we can achieve anything if we're willing to pay the price. Well, I agree with this notion that effort makes a difference. I question if exerting effort needs to be paying the price. In our culture, we often think that hard work can kill us, that hard work wears us down. If we have a passion for something, that's not true. Hard work enriches us, makes us stronger and provides focus. The first president of Czechoslovakia after the fall of communism, a man by the name of Václav Havel, said, "Hope is not an estimation of the situation, but the orientation of the heart. I can do it is one profound expression of hope. Nurture that belief. You can do it." As you grow older, you will come to realize that help can run in both directions. And the statement, "I will help," can become something like, "We can do it together." One of the great opportunities in the upper school is for you to work with your peers to do great things. When such groups work well together, they experience a thing called synergy. It's a complicated word, but it really means something very simple. It's that remarkable experience where the impact of the group is greater than the sum of the parts. The work of 4 can have the impact of 8 or 12 or 20. At upper school, we have seen groups have exceptional success. This year, we took 6 district championships this spring. The engineers have competed at the national level for robotics competitions. Congre and Conferencia have done well at statewide language competitions. Our newspaper was identified as the best in the national competition for schools with 500 students or less for the last 3 years. Our video students took all Florida in a statewide competition. The list goes on and on. But the takeaway here is not that we have all sorts of exceptional students, although we do, but rather that we have exceptional groups of students who've learned how to work together to create magic. That's what's special about the upper school. You're going to have opportunities to work together. You're not going to be as closely supervised. The things that you choose to do are going to make your experience in the upper school. As emerging student leaders, you have a chance to share your vision with your peers and invite them to help you achieve that vision. I encourage you not only to seek allies for your projects, but also to offer to help your friends achieve theirs. You have the opportunity to take great initiative, to do something special. Embrace that idea. Work together to make a difference. You're in for a great adventure. So we look forward to you coming here and sharing your talents. But before I end, I want to make one more observation. Many of you will be getting presents from family members to mark this occasion. Remember that children hug the presents. Adults hug the givers. Gift giving is not fundamentally about the exchange of material goods. It's about the importance of relationships. Honor the sentiment with which something is given. The gift is not yours until you write the thank you note. Did you hear me? Until you write the thank you note. Here's why. Years from now, when all of those gifts are in a landfill somewhere, you'll go to your family home to help your decrepit old parents downsize and move to a smaller place. And as you're cleaning out a dresser drawer, you're going to find a note in the bottom of your mother's lingerie drawer. When we communicate how we feel, we give the real gift. Let me say that again. When we communicate how we feel, we give the real gift. Remember that. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you, Kent. He's good, isn't he? I'm not going into my mom's lingerie. I'm sorry. I don't care what's there. All right. All right. Now. Yeah, we'll change that one. Now, please welcome our middle school chorus with Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Huber. Middle school chorus. Let's go.
600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter and strife. In 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life of love? Seasons of love, seasons of love.
Truth that she learned, or times that he cried, and bridges he burned, or the way that she died.
It's time now to sing out the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember, we're here in the life of friends. Remember the seasons of love, seasons of love, seasons of love, seasons of love, seasons of love.
Excellent job, chorus. Congratulations. Great schools can only be great if they have excellent leadership. We're lucky to have one of the finest leaders in the independent school world right here at the Benjamin School, Mr. Bob Goldberg. Please welcome him.
Well, good evening. Chuck always likes me to wrap things up, so whatever mistakes were made or ridiculous things that may have been said, I could correct them and perfect your memory for the evening. Let me tell you that this may seem like I'm heading down a very dangerous path when I say this. I was absolutely dreading this evening. Why was I dreading this evening? You all saw the video. That video is not what I expected. I was taken from my office, all but blindly taken from my office one day, a couple of weeks ago, into the hot sun, down to the middle school, and music was playing, and I was told to dance wildly. And, you know, that is not something that I do, and that is something that I definitely do not do on film. However, I had some female teachers from the middle school telling me I would be dancing wildly, and I had to dance wildly. First take was not good enough, do it again. And each take, and I'll tell you how many there were, really lasted for quite a few minutes. So third take, fourth take, dance wildly to the music. I'm thinking from that moment on, this is, first of all, the end of my career. This is the end of any self-respect I will ever have. If I've ever garnered any in my life, it will be gone. Chuck Hagee says we're going to watch a video. My heart is beating faster and thumping faster than I ever thought possible. And I am looking up at the video, and the part where I was dancing wildly was miraculously, mysteriously, and very intelligently cut out. I want to thank Mrs. Rudner. I want to thank Dr. James. I want to tell you how much I love you. and what good human beings you are. So believe me, hope springs eternal, my friends. Always hope, because things can always be better than you think they will be. To say that you're a graduate of the Benjamin Schools Middle School is quite a feat. This is a school that truly educates children. Many of you in the audience might say, you know what, I think my child worked a little bit too hard for his 6th, 7th, and 8th grade education. Well, that was intentional. It is no feat to graduate and graduate well and move on successfully to a smooth transition into a high school setting. So it wasn't said to you very often tonight. Usually it is in an hour and 15 minutes of a presentation like this, of a ceremony. But I want to really congratulate each of you, because it is very, very well deserved to have spent 3 years at the Benjamin Middle School and to be graduating this evening. So congratulations to all of you. Dr. James is a remarkable person. She has known me to say that. I have written that to her, and I want to tell you that she really is. When she puts her hands on something, there's going to be a thrill at the end. So what did she name this moving up ceremony? She named it a new threshold. If that is not a perfect graduation theme, especially at this age for middle schoolers, I don't know what would have been. So I was told, once again, I followed my orders from the middle school female faculty. And I was told on email that that was the theme, and to address the theme, I'm not too sure I heard anybody else address that, but Dr. James, I am here, and I'm appreciative, and you're a rock star in my eyes. It is said all the time, that people say that with age comes wisdom. I'm going to speak to you a little bit, guys, about what you might be seeing right now, standing at the podium. I don't necessarily think that age has brought me wisdom. I really don't. But I do think that it's brought me experience. And I know that I'm looking to you like a very experienced person, aren't I? Now, I know that for you, it seems very logical that what I'm going to say is true. For me, and if there are any grandparents in the audience, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. For me, it is near impossible to believe that I am 50 years older than you are on this very day. That is absolutely impossible. So I'm not asking you to see me as wise, because that might be really difficult, but I am asking you to see me as experienced. And this idea of a new threshold is absolutely brilliant, because I want to tell you, if you care or not, and some of you will be able to relate, when I look back on my life at this point, up until this point, I look back down a tunnel of thresholds. I look at the latest major change in my life, so the closest one to the present. Then I look down past that one and past that one and past that one. So life, for me anyway, in terms of imagery, has always been looking down a tunnel, and at this point in my life, 65 years of thresholds. So try to remember that when you are older, you're in upper school somewhere, high school, here, there, anywhere. Try to remember the idea of thresholds, because Dr. James brought that to us this evening. It was a very wise thing for a young person to have brought to us. Let me tell you that what thresholds mean to me. So what do you think my latest threshold was? Well, my latest, most recent threshold was coming to the Benjamin School and trying to learn a lot of things and trying to do some good, if I could. And so what do I think when I look back in my life, and I think in terms of all those changes and all those decisions I made to move left and right and forward and backwards, what did I get from those experiences? Well, I had a chance, as I ventured through the thresholds, to try the skills in a new setting, to try the skills that I thought I had developed in a new setting to see what people thought, to correct the things that I had done wrong in the ambiance of a previous threshold. I had an opportunity to continue to become the best version of myself as I passed through each threshold. Now, for you, what will that mean in the near future? I wasn't someone who really planned and looked ahead. Life almost happened to me. But I want to remind you of what's going to happen to you. You're going to go on to high school, middle school to high school, brand new threshold. Opportunity to try out your skills, improve your skills, change the way you do things. Decide to move forward, become the best version of yourselves that you can possibly be. From high school to college, from college to career. I mean, these are major, major thresholds. You probably are thinking about tomorrow. I can look back through that tunnel over so many years and realize, wow, those thresholds that I passed through made every single difference in my life. From career, and this might seem ridiculous to you at this point, from career to love. I mean, every one of you is going to fall in love several times. You're going to find somebody to love and to marry. From marriage, a threshold will be parenthood. How many of you parents in the audience can imagine these guys, your one child up here being a parent? Has anybody ever thought of that? Just imagine, that is several thresholds away, but not light years. You know, of all the things that have happened to me in my life, I would have never in a million years imagined myself as a grandfather. But I am. So you actually think about this when you look at yourselves in the mirror tonight. You're going to be somebody's granddad. You're going to be somebody's grandma. It's crazy, but it's true, and those are the thresholds that Dr. James was talking about. You're passing through a very important one now. So look, young ladies and gentlemen, well-prepared, educated, sophisticated ladies and gentlemen, parents, family members, grandparents, please accept my sincere best wishes for all the many thresholds that still lie in front of you, and for the many, many, many years of thresholds that still await you in your life, in your journey. Thank you all so much for being here and being a part of that.
Thank you, Mr. Goldberg. Now we conclude our ceremony tonight with our 8th grade recessional. Please hold your applause as students leave the stage to gather in the mezzanine area. I'm still thinking about lingerie and grandparents, and I'm not sure what the takeaways are from this, but we're going to gather in the mezzanine area behind you. Dedicated areas for photographs will also be available in the hall lobby after the ceremony. Now, juxtaposed to the way our students entered this hall tonight, they now formally leave, taking their very first steps over this new threshold as 9th graders on a new campus. Please remember, students, to make every step you take from now on a step forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present the class of 2021. Thank you to our families for coming this evening. This concludes our Lemon Novum for the 2016-17 school year. Best of luck, class of 2021.